Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you of another film that is severely underrated and kind of controversial one, to be honest with you. When it first came out, there was uproar, heat regarding the film, especially one particular role of Robert Downey Jr. And that, my friends, is Tropic Thunder, directed by Ben Stiller, starring Jack Black, Ben Stiller himself, Robert Downey Jr., Matthew McConaughey, and yeah, there's some other actors in here. The story about actors, it's a story about actors. It's a story about rappers. It's a story about how actors sometimes get too into their roles and sometimes they lose a little bit on reality. However, the story about three actors, or a group of actors who, while filming a Vietnam War film, actually get involved in a real life warlike situation where one of the lead actors, is captured and taken hostage. And the rest of them have to go back and literally use their prop weapons and everything they know about acting to real life training to rescue a probably one of the most original comedies I've ever seen, and probably one of the most satire of self-aware movies making fun of Hollywood. It's actually, I think, it's one of the best films that makes fun of Hollywood in that kind of way, where you have actors actually doing method acting, and they would hire certain kind of celebrities to be a part of certain movies, like they have rappers or singers to act in movies. And it's actually kind of funny when you think about it, how they really satirize that way of, okay, this is how it is, and when it comes to making movies in Hollywood. Um, and it's actually a film that got the Robert Downey Jr. the same year that he starred in Iron Man, 2008. His Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for playing, um, I believe the character's name was Kurtz, playing a Fred Williamson impersonated like soldier. He plays an Australian actor who plays an Australian actor who goes through a cosmetic procedure to change his skin color brown or black to portray a the role of a sergeant. And yeah, the film's gotten some controversy because of that and some of the jokes. And yeah, hopefully that's something we don't do anymore. But at this time, it was a bold choice. But again, it's something we shouldn't do anymore. I'm just throwing it out there. And Robert Downey Jr. was the highlight of this movie. He stole the show in almost every scene. It looked like he was having a great time as well. And actually, the rest of the cast, I actually liked it that they would make fun or poke fun of certain actors. Oh yeah, I forgot Tom Cruise is in here. Of going through certain things in their lives, like you have certain actors that go through drug addiction, and they will literally take drugs to do a certain movie, which is not cool. And then you have actors that will get so into their roles they can't tell from reality to fiction, and sometimes they take it too far. That's unfortunate. And then you have the award winner that would literally take it too far to get into their role, transform into the character, and sometimes the well, I guess the whole criticism right now of method acting has been put into question, and Robert Downey Jr. exercises that concept of method acting too much. That's what I really liked about it. It really points out those kind of type of actors and puts them in a situation of them working together, and then just you see him kind of lose it and not able to really grasp the situation when they are actually put in a situation where they're actually dropped in a real warlike location where the danger is actually real. And sometimes they can't even tell. Actually, eventually they do. Eventually they do figure out, okay, we're actually in a very serious situation, and how the heck we're gonna get out of it. And plus, our friend has been captured. And then I was actually surprised knowing that Matthew McConaughey, Tom Cruise, and a few other actors have cameoed to small appearances. Tommy McGuire actually has a small appearance. I mean, the movie was over a decade old, so for anybody who hasn't seen it, you are missing out on a good comedy action movie. This is actually one of the best action comedies I've seen for a concept that really makes fun of, but also has fun with it. It's not really like a thought provoking film. It's a film that you can really have a great time, minus the controversy surrounding Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and some of the jokes do land actually, and if not all of them land, it's mostly about seeing these characters kind of interact and then seeing just how much fun that this movie is. Actually, it's a great time. Actually, like it was, and I remember watching it in theaters, and I was actually surprised how much fun this movie was. Like it even goes down on celebrity gossip, celebrity news, like the whole Entertainment Tonight. Like it goes all the way top notch to like fake trailers. Like this whole movie is a satire spoof of Hollywood itself, and that's what I really, really loved about it. Where it has that love for it, but also makes fun of it to the extent to where it's literally taken to like, and it gets to the point where it gets a little bit too satire, especially towards the end when they have a scene of Matthew McConaughey who was supposed to be somewhere in L.A. somehow makes an appearance in the jungle somewhere in Southeast Asia and helps saves the crew, which is freaking hilarious. And then Tom Cruise, I guess I'm assuming Ben Stiller and Tom Cruise are buddies. To see his appearance as the executive, the producer who was in charge of funding the movie, to see him appear and give probably one of the greatest comedic performance I have ever seen from any actor ever. He stole the show in almost every scene that he's in. Like Tom Cruise nailed it. Like I could never, and it was actually a big surprise. Like seeing Tom Cruise just being this dude was just so freaking hilarious. Every scene he was in, like he stole the show. If it wasn't for the lead actors, then I would have say Tom Cruise should have been the lead actor in this movie. But other than that, this movie was a great time. Despite the controversy that had the film, this film is one of my favorite comedies ever. Like it's just blast out bonkers, and I had a great time with it. Tropic Thunder. Comment below if you have seen it, what you thought about it, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.